This is a place.
This is the place.
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place. Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate.
My name is Brandon.
And happy Make Up Your Own Holiday Day.
Man,
That's a lot of pressure.
it is a lot of pressure. I haven't given this
Do
much
you have another Christmas, another birthday? What do you do?
Well, it's got to be something totally different. Its own thing, you know?
Its own thing. Happy Pickleball Day? Is there a
That's what you
pickleball
would
day?
do. That's what you would do.
Every day's a holiday for me. Every day's a pickleball day.
What would my holiday be?
Well, I was gonna say Happy Good Hair Day,
You're such a
but
jerk.
we're both wearing hats. Ooh, this one's good
It's
for you
Happy
too.
Lose a Friend Day.
Lose a friend. Well, you lose friends every. How many times have you broken up with Matt?
So many times. I've
He
basically just broke.
keeps
He
he
asked for
keeps
it.
coming back.
I've tried. I can't get rid of him. I mean, I just broke up with him again 5 minutes ago. You saw it on all unfold.
I did.
He invited me to a hockey game, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't go because my wife works 3 days out of the week, 3 nights out of the week. And it was on one of those nights. So I'm like, can't do it. And he decided to take his other friends to the hockey game
Oh,
instead and decided to rub
well,
it in my
apparently
face.
I'm not on that. I'm not on that list because he did not invite me.
Oh, so he lost two
Even
friends today.
so,
It is
even
National
though
Loser Friend Day.
even though I'm supposed to live next door to him soon,
Well, didn't you say you
once
want
he
to buy that
takes
house?
care of the situation next door.
There is a house for sale, but it's not the one you want. Apparently, this is the one I'm supposed to move into, but
Oh, there's one for sale by him.
there is. Oh, he didn't
Oh,
even tell you. Wow.
look at
I
that.
guess he
Never mind.
really
Two strikes, Matt.
two
Two strikes.
strikes.
Since
We're
he's the
getting
only one that listens to this podcast, anyways.
we're getting our own cul-de-sac, and we're all gonna have season tickets to the hockey game and not invite him.
And we'll wave bye to him as
The
we
other
leave
people
him.
that do listen to this podcast will be grateful because they're not happy when he comes on. All right,
Is that
man.
what they do? They like screen the episode real quick to see if Matt's
Like,
on.
all
And like,
right.
nope, not
They
listening to
just
this one.
they just go to the very end and see if they can hear it by now. And
I
then
know.
that determines if they'll listen to the episode or not.
There you go.
I don't know how to transition, Nate. I don't have anything.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Does that work?
That works. Let's run with it.
You can say that Matt puts on such a great play with all of his.
There's plenty of drama.
That's pretty drunk. Oh, snap. There we go.
There's plenty of drama. Speaking of drama, Nate proposed this episode, and I am so surprised as we, this day, this year of our Lord, 2025, celebrate our 5-year anniversary.
Oh, no.
5 years we've been doing this. Can you believe it?
5 years.
5 years since we met up at the church in pre-COVID times, huddled around our little microphone, talked about the Belgian Waffle House, talked about classic skating, so many things from the early days, and we've come so far, yet not so much. But 5 years in, we still have not talked about Hale Theater.
I f- But doesn't it feel like we have?
I'm sure we have somewhere.
We've had to have talked about it, or maybe just in our 1,000 conversations we've talked about it.
I thought we did a whole episode on it already. I thought we did an
Mm,
episode talking about the Christmas Carol, but
we might have.
I can't find anything about it. So if somebody's been documenting and watching our every move and can quote everything back to us, let us know because I can't find the evidence of it. But
In one of our 260 plus episodes,
dang, dude, that's a lot.
there might be hidden.
How have we done this so long? Isn't that crazy? Every week. Okay, now let's not say every week because we have done episodes like two a week, for example. So there's weeks we've skipped, but we've always had an episode come out every single week to some degree.
Right.
But that's
We've had a couple
crazy.
bonus episodes.
Yeah, a couple
I don't know where we're
bonuses.
at.
But isn't it weird to think that we've been doing this that long and haven't really missed a week? Even when I had a
And
brand new baby, I still recorded from the hospital.
there you go. Recorded from hospitals, from hotel rooms, from offices, from all over.
We didn't do one in the hotel, did we?
I
No.
did.
Well, when we were in the hotel together, but I guess we didn't record
We
in
didn't record
Wendover.
there. Yeah, we've had field trips. We've had overnighters. We've met lots of people. Somebody yesterday during lunch started talking about the nunnery, and so I knew what that was, and I'm like, hey.
Yes,
And didn't we have we had that guy on, right, for that one?
we did. Yeah, someone who was on the Ghost Adventures episode or whatever.
Like, what? So, and I, 5 years into this, I still don't know what to do with my hands. So
Yeah, I still don't know what we're doing. One of these days, it's just gonna pop off. We're gonna be the biggest podcast in Utah. We're gonna be thousandaires. Till that day,
easily.
till that day, I'm just gonna keep plugging along, I guess. We do need to plan our episodes, plan it out in the future a little bit more. Because sometimes we come
I
here and we're
feel
like,
like
"Hey, what are we doing today?"
I feel like there's a lot of months where we're just like booked out, and then people reach out to us and say, do this or that, or can I come on? You're like, ooh, we're booked out. And then there's other times where we're like, oh yeah, we need to record an episode. What do you want to do? I don't know.
We've got
Not
spreads. We've got a
consistent.
couple spreadsheets that we can consult. We've got
Oh yeah.
again. We've said there's no shortage, but some things we need to like go and investigate a
I
little bit
think that's the
more.
problem. I
We
think that's
can't
the
just do it
problem
off the
is
cuff.
research.
Yes, Wikipedia only goes so far. Nate's assistant only goes so far. She doesn't know everything.
Mm-mm. She knows a lot though, I'll tell you that. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And messes up a lot, which is weird.
Yes. But anyway, it's fun to reflect now and think of how far we've come. I think you said it at year three or something. That's pretty crazy. You can say, I've done something so consistently every week for 3 years, right? Now we can say we've done it for 5 years. We're not quitters. People have told us to quit the podcast. They say, why are you wasting your time? You guys suck.
Hey, leave your wife out of this.
I think she forgets that I do the podcast half the time. At this point, it's just so automatic. So anyway, it's been a fun time with you, Nate. Look forward to another 5 years and maybe
We didn't,
eventually our YouTube channel.
that's coming, just like everything else in the world. But we didn't make just a New Year's resolution. We made a decade resolution to make it through a decade,
Did
halfway
we?
through. And then you're supposed to say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we're making it right
Did
now.
we?
Like, yeah,
The
yeah.
same, we just killed our New Year's resolution for the last 5 years, if you think about it. Because that was our part of our resolution, right?
Yeah, we said we do half a decade at
One,
least.
well, we said, well, every year we said we're going to do a full year of episodes, and we have.
Yeah.
So we're basically the most successful news resolution people. Now we're shooting for a decade.
I will say this, a lot of podcasts, they take opportunities to skip weeks. They say, "Oh, it's the holidays, we're going to skip a week." We don't do that. And I'm not throwing shade at those guys, but you just know you can come here every week and you're going to find an episode. It may be late. It may not come out on Wednesday. It may not come out in the morning on Wednesday. It may come out Thursday or Friday. It has come out on Monday before, but it still's recorded and it's done.
We keep you guessing.
Yes, we're consistent if nothing else.
As I say, we do need to get more on the schedule and get more field trips. So if anybody has any ideas or any people that you're like, you need to talk to this person,
Anybody,
let
anybody.
us know. Anybody at
If
this
you just
point.
meet a random guy in the street and he's rambling on about something, let's have him on. Why
We
not?
need that guy.
We can use the beep function, the filtering of the swears if we need to, or we can just release an explicit episode. We've done it before.
All publicity is good publicity.
Yes. So just let us
Bring it
know
on.
who you want to hear, what you want to hear, or don't, and we'll just keep doing our thing. We'll figure it out. But without further ado,
Well,
let's talk about Hale, a staple of the Utah community, the entertainment community, for many a year. I'm sure you did your research, Nate. How long has Hale Theater been
um,
around?
hold
And
on. Sorry. I did read the Wikipedia and learn some stuff, assuming that it's true. And it just went away. So now I have to.
Ruth and Nathan Hale, 1985.
So the history, you're right, 1985.
It's
Speaking of
almost
5 years,
like I have
5 years. I was five
access.
years old. I was 5 years old.
Oh, full circle.
Yeah. Five's the Sesame Street number of the day.
Five is the number of the day.
Five. Anyways, with their assistance from their family, Ruth and Nathan Hale converted an old lingerie factory, in
Ooh,
South Salt
spicy.
Lake, into a theater in the round with 220 seats. Over time, the capacity expanded to up to 387 seats. And in 1998, the theater moved to a new facility in West Valley City through a partnership with the city. The theater relocated for the last time to Sandy. The last time? Are they saying this is it? They
Uh,
won't ever do it again?
maybe the most recent time.
Or the last time to Sandy in 2017 due to another municipal partnership. Currently, the location at Sandy is home of the Hale Center Theater at the Mountain America Performing Arts Center. And this is interesting. This is where I didn't know this. The Hales were asked to be drama leaders in their Mormon. Oh, can you even say that anymore? I'm
No.
sorry. Mormon congregation in, well, we're edgy. Mormon congregation in Granger, Utah. They decided to write their own plays because they didn't have the money to pay for royalties on existing ones. Their plays were soon performed in other Mormon congregations. Eventually, the Hales were invited to perform one of their plays at Brigham Young University. Go
Hmm.
Cougars. During World War II, the Hales moved to California. Nathan tried to find work at the Pasadena Playhouse, but the Playhouse only accepted actors and actresses from nearby studios and the ones that the company had worked with previously. The Hales returned to perform their plays for local Mormon congregations until a talent agent scouted Nathan. When Nathan's opportunity fell through, the Hale started their own theater in Glendale, California, called the Glendale Center. It seated 110 people. Eventually, the Hales decided to go back to Granger and build another theater by selling land left to Ruth by her father with financial assistance from their family. And the rest is history.
So Ruth Hale, there's a little more history to the Hale family, I believe.
I bet there's more than just three paragraphs.
Well, okay. There's more relevant to you and I for things we've talked about before. Think back to when they used to have all those singles wards, RMs movies. What
Mm-hmm.
what were they? They were Hale.
Is the health,
Hale
whatever,
Entertainment,
entertainment. There you go.
whatever it was. And so Ruth, she makes a cameo in two of the movies. So she makes an actual cameo, I think, in the singles ward or maybe the RM.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one playing the organ in the church.
In the RM or in singles, where didn't she playing cards or canasta or
Oh,
something?
maybe. But I just remember the organ scene, and then like she passed away, but they reused footage of her playing for another movie. But anyway, yeah, maybe she was playing cards in the other one. I can't recall. But that was my exposure to good old Ruthie, other than the staple that Hale Theater has become. So you didn't ever go see a production at the Lingerie Factory.
Well, the laundry factory wasn't because that was before our time, Brandon.
Not, I
Kind
know.
of,
I just want to say
but
it.
1998, because really, I think they kind of started gaining momentum when they moved over by the
E
was it the E
Center.
Center back then? By
Yeah,
Hollywood Connection.
there you go.
And is that now kind of a tangent? Isn't they just turned it into another theater, right?
I
Somebody else
don't
is using
know.
it.
I have no idea.
I drove by it the other day and I thought it said something that it was a theater,
We
but
should probably go investigate.
investigate. And that could be another episode. There we
Yes,
go.
I like your thinking.
Stick around. In the next 5 years, we will talk about another theater.
So I went to quite a few plays when it was in West Valley. I was a big playboy.
Really?
Yeah, I was in all the musicals in junior high. Actually, I started in elementary school. I was in the Peter Rabbit. I played Mr. McGregor, and then I played Macbeth in Macbeth in fifth grade. So I was always a theater aficionado. That was my
And
pathway.
I call you guys drama nerds. Is that not?
I was a bit of a drama nerd for for a few years. And then yeah, a couple in junior high, and then I kind of drifted away from it and didn't do any plays anymore after that. But I feel like I've told this story. So apologies if I have. But my grandma saw in the newspaper uh what would you call it? Auditions for boys my age at the time. I was probably 12 or 13 to be in a production at Hell Theater in Singing in the Rain. Okay.
Okay.
So I went and I auditioned. My mom built up a whole portfolio for me, headshots, all that kind of stuff. And I went and auditioned with a couple other boys for a part in this play. Now the thing is, what you needed this was less of an acting part and more of a dancing part. So you had to be a little bit proficient in, if you've seen Singing in the Rain, tap dancing. And I had no training for tap dancing. So the whole audition, nothing about acting, nothing about any of that. They just wanted to see if we could tap dance. So I got up there and man, I pretended my heart out, but I could not tap dance and I did not get a call
Oh,
back.
oh, bugger.
But it was one of those moments. I felt like, I don't know, it was like a George Costanza moment. Like I just had to go and like fake my way through it. Like, yeah, I'm a marine biologist. I can do this. But anyway, that was kind of cool just for the experience to go and try and audition, you know. It was still kind of cool to get the behind the scenes of everything. And then I did go see the production of Singing in the Rain once it finally came out or whatever, and was kind of glad I didn't get the part because it was 5 seconds of the whole thing where it just showed these boys tap dancing. They just tap danced and that was it. And I was like, I could have spent all that time. Maybe I would have made a little money, probably not much, but it would have taken so much time to practice and be there for this for just
A
a
couple
couple
minutes on stage.
a minute if that on stage for the whole run of it.
Wow. And
Yeah.
then all the nights that you had to spend there,
Yeah, exactly.
days and
Yeah.
nights, and
So I wasn't terribly disappointed once I saw what I would have done. And it's not like it would have launched my acting career because it was only a tap dancing role anyway. But they that one at West Valley was pretty cool. They did some pretty cool stuff. But one of the most memorable ones I saw was Big River. It's like Tom Sawyer. Wait, let's see. No, not Tom Sawyer. I think it's Huck Finn. Whichever one when he's on the river with is he like a runaway slave?
so the Mississippi River carries them away from Huck's abusive father and Jim's slavery.
Okay. So yeah. Anyway, it's really cool because they turned the whole like between intermission, the first act and then after during intermission they turn the whole stage into like a pool. Like it's just water. And so they had them on a canoe for that whole part.
And this was at the old theater?
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so really cool stuff that they would do, and that was a cool one to see. They even had like if you were in the front row, they would make you wear ponchos because they'd splash everybody. I think I think Alex Boyer was in. I think I saw footage of him being in that play when they did it. Anyway, so that was cool. But yeah, I saw a lot of musicals there over the years. My grandparents had season tickets, so every once in a while they'd take one of us to see like Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat or the Scarlet Pimpernel, Singing in the Rain. Those are just some of the productions I saw over the years at the old location. But the new location, what, since 2017, you said? You've been to a couple there now as well.
Yes, I have. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
So you went recently, but what other ones have you seen prior to?
Ooh. So many, so many. Hard to list all three of them.
Well, why don't you try?
I'll give it the old college
Give the
try.
old college try.
What was it? 2017. Okay. Yes, I went to Newsies a few years ago. I went with my
Your
wife and my
favorite.
oldest
That's
son.
that's your favorite,
Listen,
right?
I know I had to see it. Newsies, and I thought, good job. And I understand when they're adapting a movie into a play, there's going to be some differences, but I thought Newsies, well done. Really
Can
liked
I
it.
make a quick confession?
Do you want
You,
me to?
do you know what's coming?
Did you try out for Newsies?
I've never seen Newsies.
What?
No. I do know I did sing a song from Newsies when I was in
Oh,
choir.
are you? Are you flippity flappity? Do you have the swear button ready to go?
Yeah.
Because beep, 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 beep.
I'm sorry. I,
Are you
I
serious?
I've never seen it. Uh-uh.
Oh man. Oh, the pain. Same Newsies.
Open the gates and seize the day. See, I know the
You've
song.
never. Oh my gosh. I have a headache. My head's gonna explode. You've never seen Newsies.
I haven't.
Wow. All the movies and things. I understand not having seen Hoosiers. I give you credit for that because it's an older
I've
movie.
seen that one.
I know, and I made you watch that one before Newsies. That one. How have we gone this long?
I've been too
Like you're
scared to
kid.
admit it.
Are you kidding me? Is this an April Fool's joke?
No,
You've never seen not even like the play or anything.
no. I
Oh
like
my
I only know the
gosh.
song. I only know the song.
Oh my gosh. I do remember it when it came out, it technically was a flop. I don't think it did as well as they thought it might have done. And then it just kept gaining momentum. Um, and I remember in choir in junior high, like we wanted to sing Newsies, but the my understanding is they wouldn't release the rights to it because they thought it was just a dumb movie.
Hmm. It's a Kenny Ortega.
Right.
You know who that is? High School Musical and
Hocus Pocus?
Hocus Pocus. Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, I remember when it came out. I think I was in sixth grade when it came out, fifth or sixth grade. So yeah, but it gained a lot of momentum, and it was so hard when Batman, the first Batman Begins came out, to not picture Christian Bale as Cowboy. So hard for me. But I've probably mentioned this before on the podcast, and we probably talked about Health Center as well. On my mission, we could listen to Disney music on P days.
Hmm.
So I asked my mom to send me a copy of the Newsies soundtrack. And what did she do? She sent me a copy of the VHS tape of Newsies instead. I got lucky because, and I had it and I watched it a few P days at the church. But my very last area, I did have a TV and VCR in my house. And so I watched it probably every P day for a good 6 months.
Well, you just listened to it, right? You didn't watch it. You just listened to
No,
it
we
for the
could watch
music.
it. We could
Oh,
watch
you could
Newsies.
watch
We
it.
could watch
Okay.
it. We could watch it, but I was like, I just wanted to listen to the soundtrack mostly.
Right.
So it was fun to watch. So I saw that so many times. So it's definitely one of my favorite movies. And then talking about the mission, it's kind of funny that both two of the plays I've seen at Hell are very mission related to me or nostalgic for me is Prince of Egypt came out at that time. And so we had that on VHS as well and watched it a gazillion times on the mission.
Okay. So
So I've
yeah,
seen,
Newsies came out the year I was born, but Prince of Egypt came out while you were on your mission. 19,
yeah, or maybe it
1998.
came out in video. Yeah, yeah. So 90, is that when it came out in 98? So 99 is probably when it came out on VHS on tape, and then we watched it for the whole mission. So everybody sang the Prince of Egypt songs, and that was a soundtrack we did have and listened to a lot. Um, and then my other show I saw was in the smaller theater was Clue. We watched that last fall.
Hmm.
So I've experienced both the big theater and the small theater. And most recently, which made me think of doing this episode because it's fresh on my mind, was that we just saw Prince of Egypt the other night. And they changed the story. It was super long, super boring, 5 stars. I
Wait,
can't
wait,
think
wait.
of anything.
Let's talk more about that. So
I'm I'm a little I'm a little bitter right now. I'm
it
a
really
little
was
bitter.
boring?
So it's hard because I know Newsies. I can quote it for you, word for word almost. Prince of Egypt, I could basically quote the movie for you as well. So I think that's my problem is I went in expecting it to be similar to Newsies, where I know they're gonna have new songs and some different stuff.
Yeah.
They did have a lot of the songs from Prince of Egypt, but I feel like they changed too much that it didn't feel right to me.
Mm.
But then you've got like my daughter but she's also a drama nerd just like you.
I used to be.
She
I'm not anymore. I've never
Oh,
seen
you're not?
Newsies.
You, I don't know how you made it through. Oh my gosh.
5 years.
It's like, never mind. It's, it's like finding out that Santa Claus isn't real. This is just too hard. It doesn't make any
I mean, that
sense.
would be crazy if that was the truth.
That that was true. Yeah. Or the Easter Bunny, whatever it may be. But my daughter, I don't think she really was. She might have watched Prince of Egypt with me. I've watched it a few times over the years.
It's so good.
I love it, but she loved it. She loved the play. My wife was kind of, I think she's a drama nerd as well. So I think, and she was one really wanted to go. So she was okay with it. It bugged me a little bit. We all went as a family. So my whole family went. My oldest son fell asleep and was like, he was instead of like leaning back in his chair, he was like sleeping, like sitting up. So he kept like doing the whole falling thing because his body would relax.
Uh-huh.
And then Bronco was bored out of his mind. You could tell he was like, this is so yeah, it was just wasted money on them. But I thought that was good. Put a little culture into them. And you could, now they can say they've seen it. Rock actually saw Newsies, so he's seen both of them. But he paid attention to Newsies. He did not pay attention to the Prince of Egypt. But I felt like, oh man. And you've seen Prince of Egypt, so I can talk about it. Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah, sure.
A spoiler alert if you're going to go watch it. And maybe, I didn't know, they do use a lot of the songs, but they make Ramesses and Moses, they never get bitter at each other, really. And they actually kind of hug and kiss and make up at the end. So I think so you never get
What?
one of my favorites, right? You never get the once I called you brother, once I
They
thought
don't
the
do that
chance.
song.
They
That's one of
can't
the
because
best.
they're not ever really mad at each other.
That's, I mean, Prince of Egypt, the story is taking some liberties, right?
Oh yeah. And
Like
that's what I
it's
told my
already takes
wife.
some liberties compared to the Bible story. The
It's
whole
kind of like loosely based on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
A
but why
Hollywood.
why would
Yeah.
you I mean it's pretty fundamental that they're not friends in the end.
Well, I think that's what helps make it more real, and then when he becomes Pharaoh, whatever, like he never really gets power hungry in the play.
Huh.
He's still like I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, where he still seemed pretty soft and uh yeah, it was weird. It was just I didn't like that. I mean, I felt like they needed
What was the
to
justification
keep that
for
story.
Moses running away and leading people out of Egypt? Like he
I mean,
Ramesses was just okay with that?
his soon-to-be wife, same thing. They tie her up in his quarters, and then she escapes, and then he's supposed to go find her. So it's a little different because in the movie he kind of like follows her like escaping, right? And that's how
Uh-huh.
he, or this one he finds her in his room, her in the room, and then they have like whatever, and then he lets her escape, and then he's supposed to go find her, but then his mom, I think, is the one who really spills the beans about, or he hears or thinks that he's a Hebrew, and then his mom's like, "Yeah, you are." And it was just different, and it was hard. It was hard to stay awake
For you
through the
too?
play, in my opinion. I was tired. It was a long day. Yeah, I started off with pickleball, then I took Bronco's class, bowling, and then had to go get my car fixed, and then headed to Hale Theater. So it was just like one of those exhausting days. So I wasn't in the best of moods, so I'll give him credit that I wasn't wide awake. But it dragged on. I thought like they just too many new songs, too many new plots. I don't know. And I'm thinking if I never seen Prince of Egypt, I might be like, yeah, that was good. Like my daughter was like, yeah, if you like plays,
Mm-hmm.
you might have liked it. But I kind of feel like like Moses never had confidence, if that makes sense. I understand Moses and Prince of Egypt, and I get it. He didn't want to be the leader, but he just kind of like the rest of the whole play, he's always like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Mm.
And he never like got the confidence like, okay, I'm doing God's will. So I thought that was interesting.
They
Just
didn't even
different.
have the. Did
Oh,
they have like the two magician guys in it? Like they cut their
the
part.
the priest
That's another great
that goes that
song.
with exactly. It's one. There's one priest, and he has a pretty big part. He's more like in the movie, in the cartoon, they're kind of what's the word? They're confident, but they also are very fearful of the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And even, you know what I mean? But in the show, the priest or whatever is very almost like he's second in charge. You know what I mean? He acts like he's got more power than he was supposed to have.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and not having that
And I like comedic. That's a fun comedic, between
eggs
Steve Martin
100%.
and Martin Short, right?
That's what I told my wife, like having the two, if they would have written that in, it's some comedic relief, for the show. So yeah, that's gone. So I don't know. I thought it was like a half hour too long of a play, but I guess I just had different expectations and was
Yeah.
more excited. And I feel like the songs that were in the movie, they didn't. A couple of them they did a good job. The other ones you're like, oh, come on. And not doing the ones that called you brother or whatever that's called kind of frustrated me.
They did Deliver Us, right?
Yeah,
You were
I
singing that
think
as we started, so I assume they
that's
did that one.
I think that's the opening song. Just
Yeah.
deliver us.
I love that song. I love all the songs, actually.
That and they did the This Is My Home. They did
That's
do
a good
that
one.
one,
And the
but I
Jethro
felt like
song,
what's the
See
Jethro?
Through Heaven Eyes or whatever.
Nuclear Life. Yeah, that one they did a good job. I feel like that they did a decent job with that one. But overall, I don't know. I don't know if I would be like if you had to choose between the plays to go to this year, if that's the one to go to.
Hmm. Okay.
But I do want to. I didn't know, and you just kind of I didn't know till when I went bowling with Bronco's class, I told one of the other dads because he was telling me how they used to have season tickets last time I was with him, and I said, "Hey, we're going to Hell Theater tonight," and he's like, "Man, we saw Treasure Island, I think, or
Okay.
something there." And he was talking about the water and like you're just talking about that. And I was like, what? I had no idea they could do that. So now I want to go see a play that has the water features so I can get the full effect.
Well, look, man, they've got some cool ones coming up. Not gonna lie, it does make me wanna. I mean, Little Women's going on right now. I know you're a big Little Women fan. Billy Joel and Elton John musical tribute. So Finding Neverland, is that the Johnny Depp movie?
Yeah,
I
right?
hated that movie.
I never saw it.
It looks like that's what it is. But yeah, that one sucks. I don't want to see that. But 12 Angry Men, I really like that movie. I would go
Is
see
that a good
that.
one?
I would go see that
Is that
in
one,
play
is that the
form.
big or is that going to be in the smaller theater?
How do you tell?
I don't know. But I guess depends on what theater it says it's in.
The Jewel
If
Box
it's in like
stage?
yeah, that's the smaller one, right? Because isn't it the living something for the
Living Planet. What is it?
the multi-level company thing? The
Young
this
Living Center
Young
Stage.
Living. Yeah.
Yeah. So 12 Angry Men is in the small one. And oh, I don't know. That's that's gonna be a hard one to the time of year that comes out is gonna be a hard time for me to go, but I really would like to go see it because I love that movie. Have you seen it before?
I don't think so.
It's just a courtroom where they're arguing about they have to decide if this guy committed murder or not.
Interesting.
Really great movie.
We just watched for the first time ever. I just watched A Few Good Men. Is that what it's called?
Okay.
The You
Is it
Can't Handle the
military?
Truth. Yeah, military courtroom.
Yeah, I need to see that one too.
So now I understand why they're how all the
All those quotes.
quotes now. I understand it now.
Got Wizard of Oz, and then another one you might be interested in, Footloose, the musical.
I thought about that. I'm like,
We've
Footloose would
got
be kind of fun.
Gentry, Murders of 1940, which I'm not aware of. I don't know that one. Sister Act. I don't think I've ever seen Sister Act.
You never seen Sister Act?
Uh-uh.
That was pretty big back in the
And then
90s. I've seen it a few
Frozen.
times.
I don't know. I might need to take the kids to Frozen. That might be a fun one. And then of course Christmas Carol. But I don't know. There's always something. Every year there's at least one where you're like, I would like to go see that musical or that play, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't go a whole ton. I've probably seen five or six there. I saw what is that one? Aida? Is that a play? Ida? I don't even remember much about it. I saw that one. I think I saw Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast. I think I saw Beauty and the Beast there, which is always a cool one to see how they do the transformation. Um, I've seen Christmas Carol. I've seen. I think I went to another Christmas one. Maybe not. Yeah, I've done a couple there, but I think overall, Hell is just the premier, you know, local theater, right? Because you have the Eccles and they bring the Broadway stuff through, and those are always cool. But what's cool about Hell is it's a little more intimate than those because you're like there
And it's
right
and it's the
right on top
round
of
and
it.
the round theater. It's a different
Yeah.
take on it if you go to that theater.
Yeah. And I think in the round is pretty cool to be. I like how they do that. And you're up more up close and you can see all the action. Whereas at the Eccles, you might be up in the, pretty high up. You can't see as much as well. But it's cool that they are able to do that here just locally with what they have. They've got enough
Right.
talent that they can have local actors perform, and you know it's like our own thing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I did have a friend who says he's seen Les Mis in at Broadway and he saw it in London. And he said that the Hale production like rivaled both. Like he's wondering if it was the best one out of the three that he saw.
Really.
So that gives them some pretty high praise.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But I'll never watch Les Mis unless Russell Crowe's in it. That's all I'm gonna say.
So Crow. Yeah, I've seen some musicals there where I felt the same as you. It wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be or expected versus what I'd seen before, when it was something that I had exposure to and then they changed something. But either way, I always feel like I'm entertained. Always feel like there's at least something that they do that I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And makes me want to makes me want to go back for more, I guess. So I'm sure I'm sure I'll go to more musicals in the near future here. And I think they have one in Orem too. I've never been to that one.
I think my understanding is they're closing down the Orem one, or it might have already been closed down,
Oh, really?
and they're
Okay.
moving it and they're building one in Pleasant Grove, which I wonder if it's going to be similar to the one in Sandy.
I'm sure it will be. That's cool. Yeah, that one looks a little more small scale. I think they still got it going on. They've got Cinderella right now, the Jersey Boys coming up in pretty soon here. The Play That Goes Wrong, An American in Paris. Ooh, they're doing Phantom of the Opera. That's kind of
Ooh,
cool.
I'd like to see that one.
I saw that on
I love the
Broadway. It was
Phantom.
pretty cool. And then they'll do Elf Junior, Elf the musical, Elf Junior the musical. I've seen Elf. That was another play that I saw, and I was kind of disappointed in when I saw it. Like they changed too much or they added too many songs or something. And I was like, eh.
Well, yeah, it's different. The Elf the musical or whatever is way different. But we do. I think I did mention this before. I feel like I've talked about this, but every year the attorneys that we use for our property management stuff, they do a yearly training, like a 6 hour training. And they used to do it at the Megaplex theaters, and they would have like two theaters, and then the one guy would be teaching in one theater, another guy in the other. Then at lunch, everybody switches theaters.
Mm.
But now that they can fit everybody in the Hale theater, we go there. We've gone there for the last 3 or 4 years. So it's kind of fun because they'll use the stage and stuff like that and do a little small production at the beginning of their whatever. They did Star Wars one year and had what's his name come through the middle of the floor as Darth Vader.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's kind of cool. So I go there at least once a year for a training, and then seems like once a year lately for a show the last 3 years.
How have we not seen a Star Wars musical yet? Now that you bring that up, how has that
Because they
not been
tried it because they
created?
did that Christmas episode or whatever special, and
The Christmas special. Yeah, okay, maybe you made your point. But man, that's wild that there hasn't been an attempt. Maybe there has been an attempt, but there's not like a large scale. Because look at all the Disney movies they have done, like Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Lion King. All those have done really well as musicals. Wouldn't be surprised if
speaking of
someday
musicals,
we saw Star Wars.
speaking of musicals, speaking of them,
Okay.
my daughter tonight starts the first of 6 nights of Little Mermaid Junior.
Oh boy.
So I have to go watch Little Mermaid 6 times in a row,
You
put
know,
on by a junior high.
I think we're gonna have another drama aficionado in our midst here after all the Prince of Egypt and then 6 nights of Little Mermaid.
I'm but tell you what, if you told me how to watch Prince of Egypt for the next 6 nights, I couldn't do it. But I might be able to handle Little Mermaid Junior.
What
It's
we should
supposed to be
do
good.
is you and I should go present to Hale and be like, look, Prince of Egypt was fine, but you need to add back in the funny priest guys. Write us apart. We can be the two. There's like a tall, skinny one, a short, fat one. I'll play the short, fat one. We
And
can
I'll
be
play
the
the tall fat one.
we can be the priests. just write us a role. We can do it. We can do the whole Steve Martin, Martin Short riffing.
Yeah, every year, you know how your high school does a play. And it
Yes.
was a pretty big deal at Hillcrest where I went. But I was like, the only way I would probably ever consider doing a play is Newsies. Newsies is the only one I would ever consider. But now I'm way aged out to be a
Mm.
newsboy. But that's the only one said I'd ever do or try out for.
The one I always really wanted to do was Grease.
Really?
I
I like
wanted to,
Grease.
I wanted to play that role. That would have been a cool one. Phantom would be a cool one too, to be the Phantom. But
Yes, I love Phantom. We just watched the movie the other day with Scarlett. But that one, like, man, you have to you have to crank it. Like that's like a Phantom's like the heavy metal of musicals for me.
a heavy metal of
The
musicals.
hard rock. It's like the hard rock. Like
Well, in
you
the
have to
movie, they
crank
even
it.
got some guitar in one of the songs. So
It's
yeah,
true.
yeah,
But if you have a good surround sound system watching Phantom, like that one, if they replay it in the theaters, I would go watch it in theaters again.
yeah. Phantom is. I agree with you. Phantom goes hard. That's one you need to go see. Maybe you should go to the Orem one and check it out.
Gone, Brandon. It's gone. Let it go. No more.
No, okay, sorry. Um, but yeah, let us know what your thoughts on Hell Theater are, or what other theater venues we should check out. Maybe we should make it down to the Tuacon one of these days. That'd be a cool one to See,
I know
I've never
that
been
would be
there.
fun. Oh, I got a place we can stay if we
We
want to
can
go
go
down
do
there.
we can go do
Go
a
do a
St.
field trip.
George field trip, and Tuacahn can
Do a
be on
field trip
that.
down there.
Yeah.
I did go. I told you with Broncos class, we went to that one um like city theater downtown where they did Bird Can't Drive the Bus or something like that. I feel like they do more kid shows, but that was kind of
Which one?
I was impressed. I forget what it's called.
Where?
It was kind of the downtown area, like in the neighborhoods. It was right across the street from the school, and it looked like it was an old like LDS church building, like
Hmm.
one of the I
Oh, the
forget what
Salt
it's
Lake
called.
Acting Company.
Yes, that's it. That's the one. So
Yeah.
that was fun. We should go watch show there because that one you could take your kids to. And the pricing isn't like horrible either. It's like $20 a ticket.
Yeah, we should go check that out.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I
Is it wood? Is that one supposed to get you like something to do made of wood? Is that the 5 year anniversary?
think that's what you found out last time we talked.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for
That's what
something. What did you say, sapphire or ruby or something?
yeah. Do you want to
What
go
it,
to Jared's? Oh no, Shane Company.
Shane Company? Do they sell wood rings there?
I'm sure they do. I don't know, but I do have a friend in the diving business. I can ask.
Let's just make sure. 5 years, 5 years, wood. Okay, that's traditional. If you're going traditional would be wood. If you're going modern, silverware, and the gemstone is sapphire. So you can get me a wooden fork embroidered with sapphires.
So chat says the traditional 5 year anniversary gift is wood, symbolizing strength and deep roots in a relationship.
Mm.
The modern gift is silverware, representing shared meals and togetherness. So I'll get you a fork.
We have shared
I'll
many a meal.
I can steal a dingle hopper from the plate in there.
Thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
And this was a place we just talked about.